Hey guys, Francesca Amato here, and I wanted to talk further about parental alienation syndrome because that seems to be the topic that some people, most people are very happy that I'm exposing it, but you've got your handful that don't like it, and I've already discussed the father's rights movement. Now, you kind of got to consider the father's rights movement. They're not there to protect protective fathers, okay? They are there for abusers, bottom line, and they work for the courts. I've learned this over the years. I've realized it, and they're being spoon-fed by well, all you got to do is go to social media and look at who like the heads of the fathers' rights movement are, and those are the people that are spoon feeding them. And what they do is they'll put a frontline woman to kind of trump the message, and they come across in a very humanistic way. But anyway, like I said yesterday, and I definitely recommend that you go back and watch the first two videos earlier from yesterday. With regards to parental alienation syndrome and Dr. Richard Gardner. Now, so let me kind of explain something to you. So what happens is a child or children are separated from their primary fit caretaker, or they're separated from their protective mom or dad. But this is distinctly mothers, because Dr. Richard Gardner only targeted mothers. He didn't target fathers. And then he trained all the judges across the country. Now, he's long gone, but he did this back in the 80s. And these are the effects that we're seeing today. This is why we're seeing the amount of children that are abused. And this is why my contact forms and emails never stop. And it's mostly moms. Now, I've got wonderful protective fathers who I fight for. And we believe in protection for children. Hence my business, Punished for Protecting. Okay, so now you've got these groups, and I had one lady yesterday. She literally started at 6 a.m. and went straight through all day long, and she made 14 videos about me. I think it was like 14. I just ignored it after a while because she just made up one lie after another. And now what she's doing is every time somebody makes a video for the Family Justice and Accountability Act, she posts under it lies. So she goes and she posts lies about me. She claims that I lost my tax exempt status because I don't pay taxes, which is not what happened at all. I am very much up to date with everything I do. Very, very much. And I'm very, very upfront and very up to date with everything. I'm very dot your I, cross your T kind of girl. And basically what happened is I forgot to mail something in myself last year when we were doing my taxes, 2024, up to date, doing my taxes. And my accountant told me to send something in, and I forgot, because you have to do something every so often, I guess every so many years, when you do own a nonprofit. But mine's a 501c4, not a 3. So, and then the more I thought about it and I talked it over with her, I said, you know what, I'm not even going to revoke, or I'm not even going to they revoked it. It was a temporary revoke, which was going to be reinstated. All I had to do was mail it in. And I said, you know what? I'm not even going to do that, because why do I want to revoke it why do I not want it? Why do I want it back, since I'm taking such a financial loss from having a nonprofit? I do over $270,000 a year, and I don't get that back in any way, shape, or form in free work, right? So I charge. I want you guys to be very much aware. We charge for services here, but I did that much in free work. And so I just decided, you know what? I'm just going to let it go, because I have an incorporation. I have a business. I have, so that's what that is. That's it. That's about the only thing that could look bad, I guess, but it was not because I didn't pay my taxes. It was a simple accident, simple human error. But anyway, so she just keeps posting all this stuff, and then she starts picking apart the bill and saying how dangerous it is. Yeah, it's dangerous, all right. It's dangerous to abusive fathers and mothers. And what I've witnessed over my 18 years of doing this is that family court is filled with more abusive fathers than mothers. Okay, that has nothing to say about dads that are good. I support all the way through, 100%. And nothing to say bad about protective moms. It's the truth about dangerous ones, okay? And so one of the things that they tote, and I want to tell you because it's kind of bouncing off of the darkness of Dr. Richard Gardner, and how they fight, and they want to use the word alienated, which to me is ridiculous. I mean, if someone's normalizing pedo, you know what I'm saying, and molest of children, I have to be careful with my words. Why would I want to even use the same terminology that supports that? Like, right? Like, especially since we're so anti-abusing children. Opposite of what that lady is going around trying to say. We're anti-abusing children. We want to keep children in safe, protective, and loving homes with their biological family, not foster care, not adoption, all of that, which is all in the bill. Why would I support that in any way, shape, or form? So one of the things that they try to say is that, oh, it's supported by Dr. William Burnett. Okay, so let me tell you something. It's not, first of all, PAS is not supported, zero, not supported by any DSM-5 or any gold standard in psychology at all whatsoever. Okay, it's not supported. But this one particular doctor that they name, and then they name like the Burnett Institute or something like that, which is the same doctor, which is an orthopedic surgeon, mind you, okay, and supports the fact that normalizing pedo and all that stuff is normal, just like Dr. Richard Gardner, and a specific target on women, a specific target on mothers, and therefore good protective fathers, in which are coming to DC with us, making videos now finally, because I had to be like, come on guys, show yourselves, you're the good guys, you know. Support women and children, and they're good guys that should be with their children. Okay, I have no problem with that. I love that. I love that. You know, their videos are coming in too, and I'm excited about it. But they're already coming to DC. A lot of these men, I already have them, you know, that are coming. Well, anyway, Dr. William Burnett, sometimes pronounced Burnett, repackages Garden's work under new names like parental alienation theory or 5-factor models, and this is what they're trumping. But PAS isn't in the DSM-5 or the ICD-11, and the UN has warned that these claims are being weaponized in courts to silence victims, namely mothers and their children. Even worse, people like David Hanscom, and a spine surgeon, mind you, okay, not a psychiatrist, promotes PAS publicly with no training in child psychology whatsoever. Okay, so false abuse allegations are rare, by the way. So 2 to 6% of women that report abuse are lying, okay, and the vast majority are real or made in good faith. So the bottom line is that PAS was founded by a man who defended pedophilia, revived by unqualified experts, and used to destroy families. So why is this such a serious problem? Well, because this is what I see every day. They come in droves. These mothers come in droves. And I, you know, have to check the backgrounds and see what's actually happening. And a lot of times I talk to the children. We talk to the children quite a lot, quite often, and quite frequently. And then, you know, dads that are protective too, of course. But it's a specific target. So whether they diagnosed your mother with, talking to the children here, to this one particular girl who's like hysterically crying on TikTok or something, saying, I need the word alienation because I was alienated from my mom. My dad kept me from her. And I'm sitting there going, so your dad was an abuser then? Your father didn't even have parental alienation syndrome. He was just a straight up abuser. That's what he was. So when I get all these messages, I'm trying to show you guys that by anywhere putting hand in glove with parental alienation syndrome as a syndrome, you are harming yourselves, because even subtly, even when they don't diagnose your mother or your father with parental alienation syndrome, which is what they're doing, is targeting women, they're actually still subtly claiming she has this false syndrome, and then they're keeping you from her, and she can no longer protect you from that type of abuse. So do you see how this works? So it's a conundrum, right? And I've said this so many times. I've said this over and over again. If a judge wants to say that you have this syndrome that is non-existent, okay, and they're blaming you have, then what are they doing to abuse victims, child abuse victims, women domestic violence victims? As soon as they say anything, they're saying, if you see something, say something. Okay, so if they're telling you to say something and you do, and now all of a sudden they just want to discredit you, silence you, harm you, place you with your abuser, how can this bill be bad when it does the opposite of that? It gives you a voice. It protects you. It doesn't have you go with your abuser. It doesn't have you taken from your primary loving, fit caretaker who loves you and wants to protect you from especially that kind of abuse. This bill is wonderful. The Family Justice and Accountability Act protects you from that, stops judges from placing you with abusers, and then criminalizes judges. And if someone is lying, they go to criminal court for false allegations. How can this bill possibly be bad, and why would anyone target this bill? And why would anyone want to support 50-50 custody with an abuser, which is mostly what family court consists of, one abuser? So tell me again how this bill could possibly be bad? Anyway, have a blessed day, guys. Thank you.